home of the 1990 Goodwill Games. TBS Sports presents NBA Basketball, America's Game. Tonight's game is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. Gold filtered for real draft taste, so tap into the gold. By Honda, who invites you to test drive the Prelude SI at your local Honda dealer. By Wendy, the best burgers in the business. And by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
Tonight, first-round action continues in an Eastern Conference best-of-5 series as round one of the NBA playoffs continue. From Chicago Stadium in Chicago, Illinois, it's Game 4 of the best-of-5 series between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls. If the Chicago Bulls win this game tonight, they will advance to round 2 in a meeting with the New York Knicks. If the Cleveland Cavaliers win tonight, it goes to a 5th game in Cleveland on Sunday. Hi, everybody. Along with Rick Barry, Pete Van Wieren, welcoming you to a jam-packed Chicago stadium. Important game for both clubs. Game 4 of this 5-game series. Rick, Cleveland a little bit banged up. What do they have to do to get back into this series?
Well, Pete, they've got a lot of problems, most notably Mark Price. So rather than me speculate on what should happen, I asked Lenny Wilkins before the ball game what he's going to do a little differently in tonight's game.
Well, I think with Mark Price, the thing I've told him is that he has to kind of set us up, get us going, move the ball, and really not try to score right away. Let it come to him, okay? But just get us moving in a good flow. The other thing is we have to go to the boards real strong, and I'm inserting John Williams into the starting lineup, hoping that that will give us a little bit more rebounding power so that we can concentrate on going to the boards. Mike Sanders still will come in and play some, but I feel like Hot Rod will give us a little bit of an edge there.
Well, they need a little bit of an edge because in the first 3 ball games, they've been outscored 29-19 in the first period. To counteract that, Doug Collins is going to try to keep the tempo of the game in favor of the Chicago Bulls. He doesn't want to have to go against the tough set half-court defense of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they are going to make Mark Price work as hard as they possibly can make him work. And they also, Pete, have to keep the rebounding going. They've done a great job, especially Horace Grant.
All the action just around the corner. This place going to be a madhouse tonight. Stay with us. We'll be back for all the action, but right now, back to our Atlanta studios and Craig Sager.
Thanks, Pete and Rick. 5 teams from the Central Division made the playoffs this year, and all 5 are still alive. In addition to Cleveland and Chicago, Atlanta and Milwaukee are playing about 90 miles up the road. And in the stands watching, Detroit coach Chuck Daly, whose team plays the winner. We'll have live cut-ins along with an interview with Daly at halftime. Also tonight, Seattle is at Houston. We'll do our best to make you feel ubiquitous with the latest news from all 3 games. Stay tuned for Cleveland and Chicago.
Back at Chicago Stadium for Game 4 of this best-of-5 series. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. The Cleveland Cavaliers, as their head coach Lenny Wilkins mentioned, making one change. John Hot Rod Williams will be not be coming off the bench. He'll be in the starting lineup along with Larry Nance and Brad Daugherty. Daugherty's had an off series the first 3 games. Ron Harper and Mark Price in the backcourt. Grant, Pippen, Cartwright, Hodges, and Michael Jordan for the Chicago Bulls. they've done the damage for the most part in this series. Lenny Wilkens in his 16th year as a head coach in the NBA, his 3rd year as head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Doug Collins, his counterpart with the Chicago Bulls. Doug in his 3rd year as the head coach, a 6-10 playoff record for the Bulls under Doug Collins.
Yeah, fix that string, Doug. We don't want to have you, not looking real good with that sharp-looking tie. One of the nattier dressers. Of course, he's got white socks on.
Our officials tonight: Ed Rush, Jess Kersey, Steve Javey, and we're set to go from Chicago Stadium. And we'll see if Chicago can continue to put the early pressure on Cleveland like they have in this series.
Just a total reverse of last year when these teams met in the playoffs, and the Cavs were jumping out to big leads.
Cartwright goes up against Nance, tip controlled by Cleveland. Jordan on Harper. We'll keep a close eye on Price early, see how that groin pull is affecting him. And the first 2 points of the night belong to Larry Nance and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now Michael Jordan guarded by Harper. Scottie Pippen's had a good series shooting 3-pointers against the Cavaliers. Drives toward the basket, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled away by Daugherty. So Cleveland gets the first rebound.
And no white jerseys underneath the basket that time for Chicago.
Cleveland up 2-0. Price will take the jumper. He hit only 1 shot from the field in game 3 of the series. Another Cleveland rebound. Nance pulls it away. Puts it up over Grant. Won't go for him. This time the rebound comes off the floor to Grant.
Well, Mark Price already did what Lenny Wilkens didn't want him to do. He tried to take a very difficult shot, drifting.
Hodges trying a 3-pointer, comes up way short. Cleveland pulls away the rebound. Harper over to Price. Price almost traveled. Trying to get it down low to Williams. Hot Rod, who had a good 4th quarter in game 3, couldn't get his first shot to fall. Rebound comes off to the Bulls.
Hodges wide open in the left, but Michael didn't see him.
Pippen fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line.
This is what the Bulls want to do, Pete. They really want to try and get the tempo of the game going in a much quicker pace and try to take advantage of the early offensive opportunities that they can get, especially with this big lineup in there for the Cavaliers. They really don't want to have to come down and set up against us.
Scottie Pippen, who averaged 14 points a game during the regular season, he's averaged just under 16 a game in this series. Not a particularly good free throw shooter. Hits about 2 out of 3, both during the regular season and in this playoff series, hitting about 67%.
We're getting back to Mark Price for a moment. That first shot that he took, I think, was not the kind of shot that was advisable when you're struggling, having a difficult time. You just take your time, wait till you get a real good, easy opportunity. Don't make it any more difficult on yourself than you have to. And that's what Lenny wanted him to do. And, of course, as we saw, he did not do that.
Price, who did not play at all in the first game, scored 15 points.
TBS Barker Channel, Sunday through Thursday.
Steal by Jordan. Jordan goes coast to coast. Couldn't get it to fall for him. There's Grant with another rebound. Couldn't get that one to go. He pulls down another one and follows it home.
Foul call before the basket, though. Brad Daugherty fouled him before. That was a great block, though, by Hot Rod Williams, who came from the weak side to get a finger on Michael Jordan's first attempt. But then Horace Grant, who's been doing so much on the boards for the Chicago Bulls. Here's the penetration. Now as he comes up, here comes Hot Rod Williams going up. Now watch him get up. He actually got a finger on it, deflected the ball, but that penetration allowed Horace Grant to sneak in to get the offensive rebound because they had to pick Jordan up.
So Daugherty's picked up 2 quick fouls for the Cavaliers underneath Cartwright. Bill Cartwright with his first 2, and Chicago has the lead with 9.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Harper looking inside. Daugherty, who's had an off series. Hot Rod Williams over Pippen.
Good job of moving the basketball that time by the Cavs to take advantage of the double teaming on the part of the Bulls.
Cavaliers with a 4-3 lead, 9-12 remaining first quarter. Hodges working against Price. Price deflected the ball. And it goes out of bounds off Mark Price.
Tree Rollins coming in immediately. Lenny Wilkins not going to take a chance of Daugherty picking up his third person. Of course, Daugherty has been bothered with some injuries. He's not really 100%, nor is Larry Nance still not 100 off of that ankle problem. This is just such a shame for this team after having such a great regular season to come into the playoffs with so many people banged up.
Very similar to Denver's situation. They got in that playoff series, had to go on a lot of their key people. Cartwright takes the jumper way short. Jordan keeps it alive for Cartwright. Scottie Pippen from three-point land. Pippen has hit 46% of his three-point efforts in this series. He has 4 of Chicago's 6 points. Tree Rollins with a jumper from the top of the circle. Wouldn't go for him. Rebound. Pulled away by Nance. Got the basket, and he drew the foul.
Boy, I tell you, I'm sure Doug Collins would love to see Tree Rollins take that shot all night long. But let's take a look at that three-pointer by Pippen. When Scottie goes out here, he really has much better form on his three-point shooting. He gets his arm going up to the basket. He's not shooting it quite as flat, and he's able to drill him into the basket. And when he shoots from the shorter range, he tends to go at the basket a lot more, and the shot's a lot flatter, and he does not have a very good touch on it.
Nance completes the three-point play, making the free throw, giving Cleveland the lead back, 7-6. Just over 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Cartwright working on Tree Rollins. Puts the jumper over Tree. Won't go for him. Rebound. Bounces free. Craig hits it off the floor. His jumper won't go, and Tree Rollins clears for the Cavaliers.
You know, Pete, we can feel sorry for the Cavaliers, but the Bulls can't, and they don't. They're trying to take advantage of it.
Michael Jordan predicted a 4-game series with the Bulls winning it 3-1. And that's exactly what Chicago is trying to do here tonight. Scottie Pippen called for his first, team's second. And we get a timeout with 7:57 remaining in quarter number 1, and Cleveland with a 1-point lead. It is Cleveland by 1 with 7:57 remaining in the first quarter. Let's summarize what's gone on in this series to this point. In game 1, that was the surprising game for the Chicago Bulls, played in Cleveland. Mark Price not playing because of the groin pull. That seemed to be the difference in the Cavaliers' performance. Chicago won it by 8. In game 2, Price got back in the lineup, scored 15, but Ron Harper, the hero, with a 31-point performance as Cleveland evened the series. And then it moved to Chicago Stadium, and Michael Jordan took over. 44 points for Jordan, combined with a 17-rebound performance by Horace Grant. And there's the poor shooting night that Mark Price had that we were talking about. And Chicago takes a 2-1 lead coming into this 4th game.
And right now, neither team shooting particularly well. Cleveland 3 for 7, 43%. The Bulls only 2 for 9, 22%.
It'll be Cleveland's ball. Cleveland with a 1-point lead. Harper having trouble finding someone to inbound it to. Finally got it in to Tree Rollins. Comes right back out to Harper with Michael Jordan guarding him. Price down low to Tree. Tree takes that little jump hook along the baseline. Gets his first 2 of the night. And that's Cleveland by 3.
That's the kind of shot, Pete, that Tree should be taking, not an 18 to 20-foot jumper.
Hodges working against Price. Scottie Pippen left unguarded for a moment. Couldn't get the jumper to fall. Harper pulls away the rebound. Well, so far, Rick, Cleveland doing a much better job on the boards in this first quarter than they have in any of the first 3 games.
They're doing a much better job of staying close to the Bulls. I mean, actually, with a 3-point lead.
Nance going toward the hoop, count the basket, and he'll go back to the free throw line.
I really believe that that's critical for them. They cannot afford in this do-or-die game to fall behind out on the road. Here we see the little drive from underneath the basket. Look at the help. Nobody coming. You see the left side, Scottie Pippen, 33. I mean, he should have been stepping in there to prevent that driving opportunity. That was just bad team defense to allow Nance to get that close to the hoop.
And Nance completes the 3-point play. He now has 8 points in his first quarter. Cleveland up by 6. Just over 7 minutes remaining. Ball still belongs to Chicago.
Nice defense by Harper to knock it away from Michael. Tough assignment to go to the basket against these 3 guys now, because Tree even a better defensive player, of course, and shot blocker than Daugherty.
Michael working toward the basket, couldn't get that one to fall. It rolled around and out. Rebound comes off to Cleveland again.
Yeah, but Tree made him change the shot.
It's been 3 minutes now since the Chicago Bulls have hit a field goal. Price back outside to Nance. Nance has had the hot hand in this first quarter. That one wouldn't go for him, though. Rebound off the floor to Cartwright. Just down to Pippen. Grant working against Williams. Jordan going through the lane. Got fouled.
But I can guarantee you Michael's not going to go to the basket without somebody challenging him. And they tried to shut the hole down, and that time Michael was able to draw the foul.
Tree Rollins committing his first, the third team foul, and Jordan tries for his first points of this game. He's been an incredible playoff. Well, he's an incredible player anytime, but the playoffs really seem to bring out the best of Michael Jordan.
Well, that's the ultimate time to play as a player. I mean, everything's on the line for you, and it really shows what you're made of to prove that you can come through when the team really needs you.
Cavaliers leading it by 4. Jordan with his first 2 points. Michael averaging 35 points a game, the most of any NBA player since these playoffs began. Week and a half ago. Williams got the nice pass underneath and puts it home. His 4th point. And the Cavaliers build that lead back up to 6. Craig Hodges back outside to Pippen. Pippen for another 3-point attempt. He hit 2 of them.
You just watch the difference on his shot, Pete. That time he was directly in line with us. He shoots the ball so much better when he's out there at 3-point range. That ball deflected on Price's shot.
Nance working one-on-one against Pippen. Cartwright comes over to help out. Nance gets 2 more. Larry Nance now has 10 points. Cavaliers lead it by 5.
The Cavs are doing a good job of getting their points inside, Pete. They're creating a problem for the Bulls. They're hammering it down in low, and that's where you win ball games.
Michael Jordan puts it up over Harper. Wouldn't go for him. Rebound pulled away by Williams. Off to Price. Trying to get it down to Harper. Stolen back by Jordan.
I tell you, a healthy Mark Price would have made the pass a dribble sooner.
Craig Hodges' 3-point effort won't go. Tree Rollins pulls away the rebound for the Cavaliers. Now Price brings it down for Cleveland. Harper sends it back out to Williams. Hot Rod Williams can't get the jumper to go. Cartwright clears for Chicago. 3rd rebound for Cartwright. Bulls down by 5. Cartwright thinking about taking that jump shot for a moment out near the top of the circle. Down to 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Jordan for 3. Wouldn't go for him. Grant pulls the rebound off the floor, puts the shot up over Williams. Boy, Chicago can't find a hot hand right now. And Cleveland with a chance to build that lead up to 7 points now. Harper takes it over Jordan. Wouldn't go for him. Scottie Pippen the rebound.
Cleveland's making a mistake here. They've gone outside the last 2 times down. They've had great success inside. They've got to keep going inside.
Scottie Pippen puts the jumper up over Williams. He's got the hot hand for Chicago. He has 9 of their 13 first-quarter points. Cleveland leads it by 3. Cleveland guards have yet to score. They're 0 for 7 from the field in this first quarter. Price and Harper combined. Nice pass underneath to Nance for 2 more. He has 12. And the Cavaliers build that lead back up to 5. Little over 3.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Jordan. I don't know whether that was intended to be a pass or not, but it wound up being a pass to Cartwright, and a good one. Cartwright with 4.
Yeah, it was, Pete. You're right. It was a pass.
Price works against Hodges. And a whistle from Steve Davey. And a foul called on Craig Hodges, his first.
Watch the play. You see Michael right there. He saw him, and he didn't shoot it. That's where he changed it. He saw it. That's a lob pass to Cartwright going to the basket. No doubt about it.
It'll be inbounded now to Darnell Valentine as Price gets a breather.
They're trying to get somebody to score in the backcourt maybe for them.
Valentine will try right away over Grant. Can't get it to go. Cartwright pulls down his 4th rebound. Off it comes to Hodges. Chicago down by 3. That's a 2-point try by Hodges. Wouldn't go. Another Grant rebound. Grant going up, got fouled. Craig Ehlo committing his first. Team foul number 4. Chicago will call a timeout here with 2:58 remaining in the first.
Pete, here's part of Doug Collins' strategy. They really want to make Mark Price work both offensively and defensively. Here you can see that they're going to run him into a couple of screens coming up. Hodges sets him up. There he gets banged once. Now there's another screen. That makes him have to work a lot and use that leg. And you can see that he doesn't try to react real quick afterwards. He just can't be quite as mobile with the injury that he has.
So it's an 18-15 Cleveland lead on our Wendy's scoreboard. Houston trying to stay alive in that series. And Atlanta trying to stay alive in that one. And the Wendy's NBA scoreboard will be on top of those games throughout the night. Horace Grant still looking for his first points of the game. He has pulled down 5 rebounds.
Yeah, and 4 of those on the offensive end to help the Bulls cause. Bulls very fortunate to be trailing only by 3 points, considering how poorly they've shot the ball.
And Grant misses them both. And Ehlo will bring the ball down. Jordan picks him up. Ehlo's been bothered by an ankle. Williams had the ball tipped away by Jordan, but the loose ball picked up by Valentine over to Ehlo. Ehlo takes the, well, he's not going to take the shot. Gives it off to Williams, and Williams puts in his 3rd basket. He has 6 points. Cleveland up by 5.
And where do they get it? Back inside. They went to the basket. That's where they're having the great success. They can't be so anxious to take those outside shots.
Jordan guarded by Ehlo. Comes over to Hodges. Nice pass underneath the Cartwright, and Tree Rollins fouled him. Well, that's 2 on Tree.
One of the few times we've seen Chicago get a chance to go inside other than Michael Jordan penetrating or an offensive rebound. But let's watch Cleveland going inside. Here you're going to see the good fake on the part of Ehlo as he got Grant coming out, the penetration, and Hot Rod Williams slips right in off the good pass from Craig Ehlo.
Cleveland over the limit now. That was their 5th foul. Cartwright at the line. He's only averaged 7 points a game in this playoff series, but if he hits this next shot, he will have 6 points in this first quarter.
And Sellers and Paxson coming into the ball game now, and we're going to get a look at
checking in for the Cavs, Chris Dudley.
Chris Dudley as well. You know, Pete, I'm glad that I didn't wear black shoes tonight, since that's what everybody in Chicago seems to be wearing for this thing. What color are those shoes you have on?
Those are black.
Oh,
but they aren't Reeboks. All of the front office personnel of the Chicago Bulls wearing their black athletic shoes today. Cartwright has picked up 6. Bulls trail by 3. Ehlo working against Jordan. Well, they're going to call a foul on Michael Jordan. His first. That puts Chicago over the limit. And going to the line, Craig Ehlo.
You know, it's so incredible the way Cleveland things have gone for him. When I was doing the interview before the ball game with Lenny, we almost dropped the light on Lenny. I said, well, that would be only fitting. We may as well get an injury to the coach. You have so many other people injured.
Ehlo, who led the Cavaliers in scoring in their first game of this series when they were beaten by 7 points, missing his first free throw. The Cavaliers have not been shooting free throws very well throughout the series. Only 66% as a team. And Ehlo hits that second one.
Yeah, Brad Daugherty is like having a nightmare.
Yeah, he's at only 38% from the line. 21-17, Cavaliers a 4-point lead. A little over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, in each of the first 3 games, Chicago had a sizable lead as Chris Dudley commits the foul.
Yeah, well, if nothing else, at least the Cavs have a chance here, though, to perhaps, well, certainly they're not going to be trailing by 10 points, I wouldn't think.
That's what they were down at the end of the first quarter in game 1. They were down by 6 in game 2, down by 15 in game 3. Jordan now with 3 points, still hasn't hit one from the field yet. He's 0 for 4 from the field, but if he makes this one, he'll be 4 for 4 from the line. And it's a 2-point game with 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Less than 2 minutes.
Valentine works against Paxson. Ehlo trying to get it underneath to Dudley. Dudley had his shot blocked by Sellers. Ball rolling loose. Comes into the hands of Harper. Harper toward the basket. That won't go. Rebound still loose, and Sellers finally comes away with it. Off to Michael. Michael collides with Valentine, and Valentine's going to be called for the foul. He's not happy with it. And Michael Jordan will have a chance to tie it up here if he can hit these 2 free throws.
Darnell Valentine out of Kansas. I do have to say I have a bit of a affinity.
Bit
for
of a connection
Kansas.
there. Dave Corzine has checked in. Bill Cartwright gets a rest. He leads with 6 points and 4 rebounds in this first quarter. Jordan has averaged 35 points a game in this series. He's averaged 10 assists, and he's averaged 3.5 steals a game.
Well, you saw the shot of Michael Jordan. He's just absolutely dripping wet with perspiration. Obviously working very hard out here on both ends of the court, as he usually does.
This can tie the score if he makes it. We're tied at 21.
Big plus for Chicago, Pete. Big plus, because they have not shot the ball well at all, and here they are in a tie ball game.
Valentine brings it down over to Ehlo. Valentine goes into the paint, now takes the jumper over Jordan. It's way wide. Rebound pulled away by Brad Sellers. He gets it off to Michael Jordan as Chicago tries to grab the lead this trip. Corzine back to Jordan. Operating along that baseline. He got hammered along the line.
Well, I told you Michael's going to draw some traffic when he goes into the paint area, and he obviously is doing quite a bit of it, as indicative of the number of free throws he just shot already. Here we're in the first period, and Michael's been to the free throw line. This is his 7th and 8th trips.
He's a perfect 6 for 6. His first 3 trips to the line. And there's his first miss.
Valentine.
Now Price checks back into the Cleveland lineup. Darnell Valentine will sit down. Mark Price saying before the game that leg really hasn't gotten much better. It does feel a little bit better after he's been out on the court for some time and loosens up a little bit. But he's just going to have to play with it in this series. Chicago has the lead. There's the time left in the first. Ehlo works against Pippen. Dudley working against Corzine. He traveled. The Cavalier turnover gives it right back to Chicago, and they can increase their lead here with 45 seconds remaining. Craig Hodges will check back in. And Michael Jordan will sit down. That's about the only breather that Jordan's going to get the last few seconds of a quarter early.
Yeah, Doug Collins quickly, when they saw that dead ball, ran over to tell Craig to get in there so Michael could get this time plus the time
Plus
out.
the break, right.
The quarter break.
Hodges working against Harper. Sellers with Williams on him. Down to 5 seconds now on the shot clock. Good defense by the Cavaliers. Pippen had to force that shot, hit it high off the glass, and we have a loose ball foul called against the Bulls.
Loose ball foul on Craig Hodges.
Craig Hodges called for his second.
Penalty.
And Cleveland will have a chance to get the lead right back here.
Price.
At the line, Mark Price looking for his first points of the night. Now here's a guy, you can tell how the leg has affected him. He shot 53% from the field, only 20% during the playoffs. You can see his scoring average down about 10 points.
Michael Jordan.
Well, I guess we're wrong.
Even from three-point land. Well, here comes Michael back in, surprising us.
Well, he got, let me see, what, 24 seconds?
And he still will get that break at the end of the quarter.
Obviously, Doug wanted him for an opportunity with the last possession.
Price makes them both. His first 2, and Cleveland back on top by 1. Bulls will play for a final shot here.
I'm sure Doug's hoping it's a better one than the last one they took.
Now Michael begins his movement. Corzine will have to take it.
It wasn't much better.
First quarter, Cleveland.
And the good Cleveland defense, which stopped Chicago those last 2 trips, keeps Cleveland on top 23-22 at the end of the first.
Milwaukee trying to wrap up the series against Atlanta, but Terry Cummings, Milwaukee's leading scorer, goes down with an ankle injury. On the play, the Hawks take it the other way. Dominique Wilkins hits one of his 3 three-pointers. 12 straight points now for Atlanta. Atlanta has taken a 10-point lead. Terry Cummings won't be back till the second half. Back to Pete and Rick.
Information, call 943.
And here it's Cleveland by 3 with 7:27 remaining in the second quarter.
Now watch what happens on the last play by Sanders. He has it blocked by Daugherty, but Daugherty goes off the court. Now he comes in to screen the nearest man, but nobody comes over to screen Sanders. He's able to get the offensive rebound and lay it back in.
Cleveland is now out-rebounded Chicago 20-14 in this game. Michael Jordan back in there for Chicago, takes the shot over Sanders. He is still without a field goal, but Bill Cartwright has scored 8 points in the ball game to bring Chicago back to within 1.
And that upset Lenny Wilkins a great deal to see Cartwright have such an easy time of tipping that one in. That's 7, at least, well, they had 6 offensive rebounds in the first period alone, Chicago did.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. Nance looking inside for Daugherty. Daugherty puts it up over Cartwright. He has not been able to find the shooting touch, but there's Sanders with another offensive rebound, resulting in 2 more points. Cleveland by 3. Jordan trying for his first field goal. He has now missed a half dozen from the field. And Cleveland can now open up a 5-point lead. Daugherty. Well, he is really having a rough time of it offensively. Pippen works against Sanders. Pippen will try his third three-pointer. That's the first one he's missed. Rebound Daugherty off to Price.
Boy, he had that dead-on line. It was just a hair long.
Out it comes to Nance. Nance has had the hot hand most of this quarter, and Sanders with another offensive rebound, 2 more points.
Well, I'll tell you, Sanders, since coming off the bench, has been a real force for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, here's a guy who was struggling in the starting role. Now he gets to come in off the bench, and he's doing what Hot Rod Williams did in game number 3. Here's the flat shot. You can see how flat that shot was. The long rebound, as you see, Scottie Pippen had released and didn't screen his man off. Sanders wisely tracks it down, gets fouled, will go to the line. That's a perfect example of why you should screen your man and not just release for the ball.
Sanders, who was kind of singled out as being the guy who was not doing it on the boards a game ago, certainly changing that in this game. He has 7 points all in this quarter, giving Cleveland a 6-point lead. Grant down to Cartwright. Cartwright into the paint. Shot blocked by Nance. Ball is loose in the corner, trying to save it inbounds. Scottie Pippen. But he went out of bounds. Ball goes back to Cleveland.
I think that last play, Pete, was an indication of how Brad Daugherty's not really feeling all that well. He did not move very well laterally that time. He's not the fastest guy, but boy, he was really slow on that one.
And there's a turnover as Grant got his hands on the ball. Over to Michael Jordan, operating against 4 Cavaliers, and he's fouled by Larry Nance. That is the first foul committed by Nance.
Larry Nance, his first. Team's third.
And Michael Jordan, who has scored 7 points in the game, all from the free throw line, makes a return trip. This will be free throw attempts number 9 and 10 already in this game for Jordan. And he's now missed 2 of them. Jordan now with 8 points, all from the free throw line. Cleveland's lead, a 5-point lead with 5.5 minutes to go in the half. Chicago now 13 of 18 from the free throw line. Cleveland's only been to the line 8 times. They've made 7. Down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Nance going up, got fouled. Scottie Pippen got him his second.
Well, I noticed that the Cavs are showing a lot more patience right now with their offense. I'm sure Lenny Wilkins talked to them about it. And they're not just taking the first opportunity that they get to fire it up from the perimeter. And they've really been able to hammer it inside a few times. And of course, they've done an outstanding job, especially Sanders on the offensive boards in this period.
Larry Nance with 14 points. He's also pulled down 5 rebounds. That's his first miss from the free throw line. There's what he did during the regular season against the Bulls when Cleveland won all 6 of the games in the season series. Nance misses them both. Grant pulls down the rebound. Now Chicago still shooting only 31% on the night, but down by only 5 to get back to within 3 points. When will Michael Jordan hit that first field goal? Not that time, but he'll go back to the free throw line.
The foul is on Mike Sanders, his second.
Mike Sanders committing his
foul.
second foul.
Michael Jordan,
Team
2
foul number 4.
As long as you can get to the free throw line. That was my saying, anyway.
I know you enjoyed going there, and in fact, I saw you practicing before the game tonight. What's this going on at the end of the third quarter, the celebrity free throw?
Well, they kind of roped me into this, and I had to figure out how to better shoot a couple just to see what it felt like.
Michael is not having a typical Michael Jordan night to this point. He has missed 3 from the free throw line. He has yet to pick up a field goal. 9 points on the night. Chicago down by 4. 4:45 left in the half. Underneath it goes to Sanders, but he couldn't quite reach the pass. That's 6 Cleveland turnovers. One reason Chicago's been able to stay close, they have not turned the ball over once in this game yet. But still shooting only 31%. Michael Jordan finally gets that first one to fall. He has 11. Bulls are back to within 2. Price going against Hodges. And the foul goes against Chicago. Hodges called for his 3rd.
Well, let's watch Michael inside getting that first hoop of his. Just comes right across the middle, little jump hook, and that one was even a little short, but the nice shooter's bounce helped him that time. You see Michael was delighted to have that one go in, as was the capacity crowd.
That's the first miss in this series by Mark Price from the free throw line.
And Cleveland has missed their last 3 free throw attempts. Price now with 5 points. Cleveland up by 3. Paxson brings the ball down for Chicago over to Michael. Trying to get it inside to Pippen. Pippen lost it, but Grant saves it back to Michael Jordan. They've only got about 8 seconds to work with on that shot clock. Down to 5. Cartwright puts the hook in.
Well, Cartwright with 10. And Chicago back to within 1.
3:45 to go in the half. Mark Price to Daugherty. Harper. Good pick set there by Daugherty, but Harper couldn't get the jumper to fall. Grant pulls away the rebound off to Michael Jordan. Bulls can take the lead this trip. Is on Michael pass that ball and say, give it back. Down to 5 seconds now on the shot clock, and Jordan is going to go back to the free throw line.
The foul, Ron Harper. That's his first.
Harper committing his first. Cleveland over the limit now.
This is shades of the old days, seeing the guy get to the line this often.
Michael Jordan.
12 free throw attempts already.
Numbers 13 and 14 about to take place. And if he cans them both, Chicago will be up by 1.
I remember in the old days, the driver really got protected. I think in my first few years in the NBA, I averaged about 12, 13 free throws a ball game. That's a lot of free throws.
Well, at this pace, Michael Jordan's going to shoot about 30 tonight. He makes them both.
17th lead change in this first half is Chicago.
Back on top with 3 minutes to go in the half. Daugherty leaning in against Cartwright. Tried to send it over to Nance. The ball stolen by Michael Jordan. His 3rd steal of the game. And let's see if they call a breakaway. They will not.
He was in front of him, made a play with the ball, and just grabbed onto him. I think that's a smart play because you don't want this crowd to get really pumped up in the team by letting Michael have that breakaway dunk. And he did not do a type of foul that could possibly have injured Michael.
Timeout.
And here are our Honda leaders. All the publicity gained by Cotton Fitzsimmons and Don Nelson for the great jobs they did with their ball club. Let's not forget how the Cleveland Cavaliers moved into the upper echelon of the NBA this year, Rick.
Well, they did a great job. Lenny Wilkins proving once again that he certainly is one of the premier coaches in the NBA, but a very frustrated man right now. And I think that he would like to see Brad Daugherty snap out of things. Brad has really been a non-entity in this series, and they really need him to come alive if they hope to stay alive themselves.
Michael Jordan's 15th free throw attempt in this first half. He has made 12 of them. He has 14 points on the night. And Chicago now leads it 44-41. There's your time remaining in quarter number 2. Bulls are only shooting 35%, and they have the lead. That's tough to do.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for Cleveland.
Williams.
John Williams.
Now has 8. And Cleveland back to within 1. Cleveland only shooting 42%. Their shooting percentage has gone down since late in the first quarter. Grant underneath to Michael.
Michael Jordan from Grant.
2 minutes to go with a 3-point Chicago lead in quarter number 2.
Left in the half.
Daugherty's baseline jump hook goes. That's only his second field goal, his 4th point. Cleveland back to within 1.
Well, they need that from him. Get it inside. Don't waste any time. Go to the offense. Try and get yourself on track.
Cartwright puts it up over Daugherty. Shot was too strong. Pippen's tip wouldn't go. Williams pulls away the rebound.
I should say he should get back on track. He's on the track, all right, but it's the wrong one right now.
Price over to Hot Rod Williams. Gives it to Larry Nance. Nance puts it up over Pippen.
Larry Nance.
Nance shooting the ball extremely well. He has 16 points in this first half. He is now 7 of 10 from the field.
Another lead change.
Just over a minute to go in the second. Michael will work against Harper. Down to 3 seconds left on the shot clock. He's going to have to hurry.
He couldn't have timed it any better.
You can't give him his right hand, Pete. I don't care where he is on the court. You must make Michael Jordan go to the left if you can.
Jordan has only 3 field goals on the night. But that one just put Chicago back on top. He has 19 points overall. Price dishing off to Nance, and Nance for 2 more. Nance with 18 first half points. Cleveland has the lead back.
22nd time out here, Pete, for Chicago. Try and come up with something creative to hopefully get the lead back and then stop Cleveland. But it's been very interesting so far this first half. Not the best of play, though.
I want to remind you that coming up at halftime, our Prudential halftime report. Craig Sager will be along in our Atlanta studios with scores and highlights from around the playoffs. Big games in Milwaukee and Houston, of course, going on tonight. Plus, Chuck Daly, who is scouting his next playoff full, will be with us from Milwaukee. So stay tuned for that. Our Prudential halftime report. Not too far away, as we only have 29 seconds remaining in the first half.
That Chuck loves to get on TV, doesn't he? Look at that. See, they let him go to the right. The help can't get there in time, and he just explodes to the basket and takes it home. Again, he's a great player going both ways, but he's even greater going to his right. You just take a guy whose strength, whatever that hand is, and you make him go the opposite way to try and cut down some of his effectiveness.
No turnovers by the Bulls in this first half. They were averaging 18 a game in this playoff series.
And you're right, that's a big factor, because if they turned it over, let's say 9 times, that's 9 more opportunities Cleveland might have had, and even shooting 40-some-odd%, that could get them another 8 points or more.
Chicago shooting just 37%, Cleveland 48%, but the no turnovers a big factor keeping Chicago alive. Paxson working against Price, looking for Michael, and there's the first Chicago turnover. And they get it right back on a steal by Scottie Pippen. Price comes out on Jordan. Will they get the shot off in time? It would have counted had it gone, but they weren't able to work for a very good shot there in those final few seconds.
3 times, Pete, that's happened to them this game. They didn't get good shots.
We're at halftime. The Cleveland Cavaliers trying to survive, up by 1. That's true. He was out there practicing before the game today. Once you get the basketball in the system, he just can't get it out.
Yeah, well, Michael got a lot of practice in, too.
Sure
In fact, he set a record, right?
Set a record. 16 free throw attempts in 1 half, an NBA playoff record.
He made 13 of them. If he had made one more, he would have tied Jerry West for the most free throws made in one half. But we're going to be taking a look at some stats, Rick Barry, and you look at the score, 49-48 Cleveland, and you look at these stats, you're going to wonder how Chicago stayed so close.
Yeah, you take a look and you see there that they've got the 36% shooting to 48%. They were out-rebounded 27 to 19, but the one turnover and all of those free throws really were able to make the difference. So that's just the way things seem to work sometimes in the NBA. But the way the game went early in the game, Cleveland got a lead, and they did it because they went inside. Here, Larry Nance gets the ball against Scottie Pippen and just goes ahead and powers his way inside, banging away against Scottie Pippen, a good fake, and then he just leans in and makes a tough shot. Nance had 18 points in the first half, a big half for him, and that helped the Cavs cause quite a bit. Then also helping off the bench, off this missed shot by Daugherty, you're going to see Mike Saunders, who was taken out of his starting role in favor of Hot Rod Williams, get one of 3 offensive rebounding baskets. He wound up with 7 off the bench, which also was a big boost to the Cavaliers. Then it was the man, Michael Jordan. Here you see him. They're going to give him the baseline. Now look, you see Williams comes over. He tries to go to the top. That leaves the baseline open. Good screen off that time by Grant to let Michael take it home with 1 second remaining on the 24-second clock. One of the few times Michael was able to basket without getting fouled. And right now, I think that Lenny Wilkins has to be a bit concerned because his team did so many good things out there, and yet here they are with only a 1-point lead. And he knows that the Bulls aren't going to continue to shoot that poorly.
And you mentioned how the backcourt was not doing much in the way of offense. Neither backcourt actually is from the field. Chicago guards are 3 out of 14 from the field tonight. Cleveland guards only 2 out of 10, so we'll see if that improves as quarter number 3 is about to begin. Chicago has the ball. Scottie Pippen will inbounds it. Trying to inbounds it, trying to get it to Grant. Cleveland gets it right away.
Well, it took them 24 minutes almost to get 1 turnover in the first half, and they haven't even used the second up and got 1 here in the start of the second. That doesn't look very good for them. They have to really take care of the basketball.
Harper, Daugherty, Williams, Price, and Nance in the Cleveland lineup. Price dishing off to Harper, and his jumper is good. Ron Harper's with 6 points now, and Cleveland leads it by 3. Second half just underway. Pete Van Weren, Rick Barry with you from Chicago Stadium. Pippen over to Hodges. Hodges will put it up over Williams. Harper the rebound for Cleveland. Cleveland on the run. Price. He'll slow it down now, run the offense. Daugherty cannot get his shot to fall tonight. He's not been able to get it to fall this entire series. Chicago's break. Michael Jordan.
And the foul. Good break opportunity off of the missed shot by Daugherty, who really forced one up there. We'll see the finish of the play coming up. Smart play by Pippen to kick it out as he was double team, allowing Michael to get all that penetration before the defense even got there. And there you see the foul by John Williams across the forearm of Michael Jordan, who goes to the line once again.
3-point play for Michael Jordan. We're tied at 51. That was the second personal foul called against Williams. Nance, who had a big first half with 18 points. Tries for his first basket in the third quarter. Can't get it. Michael Jordan leads Grant. Horace Grant with 4. Chicago has the lead.
Well, but that's okay. See, Cleveland still has gone inside both times. You just have to do a better job with their transition defense. They missed 2 shots inside, and I'd rather see them miss them there than outside.
Price works against Hodges, and the foul's going to be called. The basket will count. Craig Hodges will be called for his 4th personal foul.
Well, I'll tell you, Mark Price, it looks like he's moving a lot better than early in the ball game. You see him here on this replay. They give him the baseline again. You just don't want to give the guy the right hand. They had positions set up to overplay on defense over the pick, but he was able to float in there and make that shot. And again, he seems to be shooting better on the move going towards the basket, Pete.
Hodges picking up his 4th foul. He'll have to sit down for a while. Sam Vincent checks in for the first time tonight. 3 points for Mark Price in this half. 6 points for Price in the game. Cleveland up by 1. This has been a war. Pippen underneath. He has 11. Chicago back up by 1. Price stops and fires, and he looks a lot looser, doesn't he, Rick?
He sure does. I don't know what happened to him at halftime, but he's sure come out moving much more aggressively on the court.
Cleveland by 1. Price with 5 points in the quarter, 8 in the game. Michael Jordan over Harper.
That's the first good shot that he's made in this ball game as far as having some good form and looked like he had good rhythm on that one.
24 points now for Jordan. Bulls back up by 1. And a foul. Cartwright got Daugherty.
Bill Cartwright, his second.
That's his second. Harper will put it in for Cleveland. Or will he? Nope, it's going to be Williams instead. And it comes to Daugherty. Price takes another one, hits another one.
That hurt him. He shot that ball, and when he went back, you can see the pain on his face after the shot. And let's hope for Cleveland's sake that he didn't re-injure that groin pull.
7 points in the quarter for Price, 10 in the game. As you can see, he's playing in a lot of pain. Cartwright kicks it out to Vincent. Vincent will take his first shot of the night. Won't go for him. Rebound pulled away by Grant. He had it and lost it out of bounds. So Cleveland gets it. Price takes one from three-point territory and hits it. Mark Price has come to life here in this third quarter. He has 10 points in the quarter, 13 in the game. And the Cleveland Cavaliers now lead it by 4.
I tell you, Lenny Wilkins is complaining about the call there on the sideline, and I think he had reason to it. I thought that was pretty good defense on the part of Harper that time. You see Lenny, but let's watch Price on the little jump shot from the side as he shoots that ball. Now keep an eye on his face when he's going down the court. You can see him right there. Look at that hurt.
He is playing through some pain out there tonight. Over to Michael, who was thinking about putting it up. Now does over Harper. And hits. Right now it's a shootout between Mark Price and Michael Jordan. Jordan with 26 in the game. Cleveland, though, still with a 2-point lead. 8.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Harper down to Nance, and before the shot was taken, a whistle.
Scottie Pippen.
He is called for his third.
Well, you notice, though, other than Price, the Cavs are really trying to hammer that ball down inside. They sure realize that they had a lot of success early in the game with that strategy.
Harper with the ball. Jordan comes out to guard him. Comes over to Price. They're trying to free him up while he's got the hot hand. He sends it across to Williams. Back outside Harper. Harper double teamed into Hot Rod Williams. His shot was blocked by Cartwright. Bulls on the run. Michael Jordan. Another tie with 7:55 remaining in the third. Jordan now with 28 points, 9 in this quarter. In the paint, Daugherty. Still can't get a shot to fall. Rebound. Horace Grant off to Sam Vincent. 10 boards now for Horace Grant. He had 17 in game 3. Michael Jordan. Chicago by 2, just over 7 minutes remaining. Mark Price finally missed one. Cartwright the rebound. Outlet to Vincent. 3-on-2, Chicago break. Vincent's going to back it up now to Pippen. Down it comes to Pippen, working against Nance. Out to Grant. They're down to 5 seconds left to shoot it. Vincent against Price. He stepped on the line. Ball goes back to Cleveland. A timeout being called here with 6:52 remaining in the third. Bulls up by 2.
Irving for Red Hot Lovers presents the 100-point defense contest.
Portions of tonight's game are brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA, and by Head & Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
This game's been seesawing back and forth all night. Right now, Chicago leading it 63-61 with 6:52 remaining in the third. Two other very big games going on tonight in the NBA, and our Wendy's NBA scoreboard will update you on those. Atlanta with a 13-point lead over Milwaukee as the Hawks try to stay alive. Seattle and Houston deadlocked in the third. A win by Seattle, and that series is over. And if Seattle wins that one, they have a date with the Lakers. The Golden State Phoenix matchup already set, and we'll have another playoff doubleheader for you Tuesday night. An Eastern Conference semifinal game first, followed by a Western Conference semifinal game. Check your newspapers for the exact schedule over the weekend. And here we go, Cleveland down by 2. Pete Van Weren, Rick Barry with you from Chicago. You can see how this game has gone back and forth. 26 lead changes. We're only in the third quarter. Cleveland shooting 50%, 5 of 10 in this quarter. Chicago 78%, 7 of 9. And Mark Price has found his shooting touch again. He now has 12 points in the quarter, 15 on the night, and we're tied again. Grant looping it underneath to Cartwright. And all of a sudden, the Chicago Bulls beginning to have a little difficulty with turnovers and an offensive foul that time on Bill Cartwright. That's his third personal. Harper looks underneath, looking for Nance. Scottie Pippen doing a good job on Nance. Harper takes it to the hole. Won't go for him. Another Bill Cartwright rebound. Cartwright doing a great job on the boards. Jordan couldn't control it. Williams pulls it away. Jordan tips it away. Grant for an easy two.
Michael going up to Sam Vincent saying, good pass, Sam. That was my fault. And a big turnover for Cavaliers. Hurt them a lot.
Cavaliers now down by 2. They're double teaming Mark Price. He hits the deck. Chicago on the run. They've got a 4-on-3. Michael Jordan. 13 in the quarter, 32 in the game for Michael Jordan. And the Bulls lead by 4. Harper. What a different second half from the first half, Rick. In the first half, the backcourts for both teams not heard from hardly at all. They've been doing almost all the damage here in quarter number 3.
Well, you rarely get an NBA game that stays one way the entire time.
Pippen almost lost it. And there's a steal by Harper. And Harper has a clear shot for an easy 2.
Ron Harper.
Ron Harper now with 10 points. And we're tied again.
Good poise by the Cavs with the crowd getting into it and giving up those 2 easy hoops, trailing by 4. They got it right back to it and they're tied.
4 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the third. Jordan finally misses one. Daugherty the rebound off to Price. Cleveland can grab the lead back here. Underneath to Daugherty, and he got fouled on the way up.
But it was Price with good movement and the penetration that set it up. And I'll tell you one thing, if I'm Lenny Wilkins, I want to see Michael Jordan shooting that kind of shot the whole game. I mean, when he's going to the basket, he's going to either get to the line or maybe get dunks. I'd rather have him shooting that jumper, even though he can make it.
Daugherty had just 9 points in game 1, just 6 in game 2. He did have 17 points in game 3, and he has just 5 points here in game 4. And this is a guy who averaged nearly 19 points a game during the regular season. Makes just 1 of 2. He's hit only 38% from the line in this series. Well, Cleveland has the lead by 1. They've got 4 minutes remaining in the third. Grant almost lost it. Puts up an awkward shot, and the rebound pulled away by Daugherty. He does have 9 rebounds tonight, Brad Daugherty. Cleveland on the run. Harper will not get the basket to go, but he will go to the free throw line.
Foul is on Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan committing his second.
Well, I'll tell you, Pete, the hockey season's still going on here in Chicago, isn't it?
It certainly is. They still have the ice down here awaiting the Blackhawks and Calgary Flames game 3 of their series. They've got a little rubber mat that we're sitting ice, and it's soaking through our shoes.
Got the cold tootsies tonight.
Harper. That's the first one.
There you can see
There you
the
can
ice.
see
There's a
the
little
ice
rug
underneath.
there, and that little rubber mat, that's what's underneath the feet here. And usually the Blackhawks are out of it by this time.
Harper now has 8 in the quarter, 12 in the game. Cavaliers have stretched that lead down to 3 points.
We should have
But
worn
nobody's been able to pull away tonight.
We should have worn our sneakers.
3.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Jordan. Boy, he's been a one-man show for Chicago in his third quarter. 15 points in the quarter, 34 in the game. And Cleveland's lead a 1-point lead. Price looking for Daugherty. Daugherty sends it across to Williams. Williams is going to be called for the offensive foul. His third. He has not been the factor tonight, Rick, that he was in game 3.
Well, you know, some guys really play better when they come off the bench. It's really strange how you can get a mindset and you can respond to certain situations and not to others.
Pippen had the ball tipped away by Nance, gets it back. And they give it to Michael. And Michael delivers.
Like he usually does.
36 for Jordan.
Another one about playing coming off the bench, Pete, is that you have a chance. The other players are a little bit tired. You get a chance to see what's going on, and sometimes it can be an advantage for you.
We might have seen that happen to the Utah Jazz when they started Thurl Bailey in games 2 and 3 of their series. Nance can't get it to go. Chicago with a 1-point lead. They've got the ball back. Michael on the run again. Another jump shot. Another 2 points. He has 38, and he has taken this game over. Lenny Wilkins wants to talk about it. Timeout, Cleveland.
We'll go back to the Michael Jordan show in just a moment, but first an update on the injury to Terry Cummings. He went down with 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. He's been diagnosed as a strained or pulled ligament in his ankle. He is definitely out for the rest of this game and questionable for Sunday if there is a Game 5 on Sunday. Back to Pete and Rick.
Okay, thank you, Craig. Chicago leading at 73-70, and if you've been with us since the outset, remember back in the early moments of the second quarter, we were talking about Michael Jordan being 0 for 6 from the field. When would he get that first field goal? He's made 12 of his last 14 attempts now.
Well, he's got the feel now. Look at the little move right and left to get the jump shot set up, and he just comes to such a great stop, and he's got the feel now. But what Michael did was what all great offensive players will do, Pete. He shot his way out of the slump. You don't stop shooting. You keep going after it because you in your own mind know that you're a better player than that.
38 points for Jordan. Chicago leading it by 3, just over 2 minutes to go in the third.
2 minutes left in the quarter.
Williams got it underneath to Daugherty, and Daugherty, who has been struggling throughout the series, will go to the free throw line, which is not necessarily good news for him right now.
That's for sure. He went 0 for 2 the last time. You pointed out 38% for the series.
He now has 6 points, 2 out of 3 from the line. Craig Ehlo checks in for Ron Harper. And it's a 1-point game again. Daugherty now with 7. Sam Vincent. Over to Brad Sellers. Almost threw it away. Price almost got the steal. If he was 100% healthy, he may have gotten that steal. Vincent left open along the baseline. His first 2 of the night. Chicago by 3. And Vincent will be called for a foul in the backcourt.
Fouls on Sam Vincent.
His first.
Penalty.
That's a penalty, however, against Chicago. The Cavs still have a foul to use in the last 2 minutes. They only have 2 team fouls.
And Mark Price, who's played a gutsy game here tonight, will go back to the free throw line. Paxson getting ready to check back into the Chicago lineup. Michael Jordan gets a breather. He has scored 19 of the 27 points scored by the Bulls in this third quarter. And Mark Price cans them both to make it a 1-point game again. Bulls by 1. There's your time left in the third. Sellers. Blocked and stolen by Nance over to Ehlo. Now Cleveland can grab the lead. They continue to go to Daugherty. He's double teamed down there. Sends it back out to Nance. Down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Grant fouled him. And that is 4 now on Horace Grant. Larry Nance will be at the line.
Now, Lenny Wilkins has to feel pretty good also about what's just happened now, because he withstood an incredible performance on the part of Michael Jordan with 19 points. The Bulls getting 27 out of it, and here his team has a chance to, well, free throws have hurt him a little bit, a chance to tie the game.
That is the 6th miss from the free throw line by the Cavaliers. They're 16 of 22, 16 of 23, and still down by 1. Final minute of quarter number 3. Vincent works against Price. Sends it across to Sellers. Vincent takes the jumper. That one wouldn't go. Grant has the rebound and got fouled. So Horace Grant will go to the free throw line.
I saw Doug Collins saying to Horace, pointing to him, said, Horace, you've got 4 fouls. Put his index finger up to his head, saying, be smart out there. Can't afford to lose Horace Grant.
Houston trying to stay alive in that series. A 3-point lead over the Sonics. They're in the third quarter at the Summit.
Well, that's the way you like to see playoff games like that. 77-74, 75-74 here. I think it really, it's a real true test of how well a player can perform.
Corzine checks in. Horace Grant now 0 for 3 from the line. As you see, he's done a good job on the boards again. He had 17 rebounds in game 3. Has 13 more tonight.
Well, that's the thing. When you're not shooting the ball well, Pete, you have to find some way to contribute to the team. Otherwise, you become a liability.
Bulls by 2. We have a 5-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. 15 now on the shot clock. Ehlo from the baseline. Threw up an air ball. Not even close. Chicago will have a chance to score 2 more here before the end of the third. Vincent threw up an air ball. And that's the end of quarter number 3. Chicago hanging on to a 2-point lead.
It's time for the Gatorade Slam Dunk. Tonight's Slam Dunk by Craig Hodges.
And back here at Chicago Stadium, the Bulls leading the Cleveland Cavaliers 76-74. Chicago needs to hold on to win this Eastern Conference battle and move on to round 2 of the NBA playoffs. And may I congratulate my partner, Rick Barry. We talked about it earlier, but at the end of the third quarter tonight, they have a celebrity free throw shooting contest. Rick, you'd made the first 4, and you said 5 in a row. I'll do it with my eyes closed. $5 out of 5, $500 for charity. And still that magic touch from the free throw line.
Well, sometimes you don't forget things, Pete. That's one of them for sure. And it was nice to do it to get some money for charity. But the Bulls, you see, they increased their field goal percentage a great deal. The Cavs still hovering around the same area. And rebounding went back in favor of the Cavs a little bit there, and we've got a score indicative of the stats you looked at.
And here we go in the fourth quarter. Our Minute Maid orange soft drink stats showing you what's been happening up to this point. Bulls leading at 76-74. Price to Ehlo. Ehlo trying for his first field goal. He's not been able to get one to go. Daugherty had another rebound. And on the way up, he got fouled. Charles Davis has checked into the Chicago lineup for the first time tonight.
Strange lineup for Chicago right now. They've got every one of the starters out of the ball game for Doug Collins. I guess he wants to keep his people fresh, but you certainly don't want to go ahead and let the Cavs build up any kind of a lead. I would think he'd make a change very quickly if things don't go well for the Bulls here in the next minute or so.
Daugherty now 4 out of 5 from the line tonight. And if he makes this one, we'll have another tie score. He makes them both. We are tied at 76. Michael Jordan's getting ready to check back in. Sellers gets it over to Paxson. Vincent, Corzine, and Davis, the other Bulls on the floor. Down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Vincent couldn't get it to go. Corzine pulled away the rebound, lost it, but Sellers got it and put it home. And Chicago up by 2 again.
And every basket by this group is a real bonus for Chicago.
Ehlo works against Paxson. Not Rod Williams. Wouldn't go for him. Brad Sellers pulls down another rebound.
I think Nance is going to get back in the game quickly for Cleveland. They need him.
Corzine with Daugherty leaning on him. Corzine leans right back, gives it out to Sellers. Corzine couldn't get it to fall. Rebound pulled away by Mike Sanders. Gets it off to Mark Price. Cleveland trying to tie it up one more time. Ehlo looks inside to Daugherty. Brad Daugherty. Jump hook over Corzine. Nope. Davis the rebound. Off to Vincent. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Chicago leading it by 2 as Chicago tries to nail down this series. Corzine against Daugherty. They're having a pretty good battle underneath there. Count the basket. You go to the line.
Watch Corzine on the baseline here. You see Brad leaning to the inside. Great quick spin move to the opposite way where the defender was. Sanders late to get over there. Watch it again. A quick move by the usually slow Dave Corzine. He gets fouled and knocks it in. Big play for the Bulls. And I guess Lenny Wilkins thought the same thing because Nance is back in the ball game for Cleveland. They cannot afford to have him on the bench.
Corzine completing the three-point play. He has 5, and that's the size of Chicago's lead. Michael Jordan has checked back in, as has Scottie Pippen for Chicago. Price to Nance. Sanders works against Pippen. Down to 5 seconds left now on the shot clock. Ehlo will take one from three-point line. It wouldn't go, but Nance has the rebound. Puts it off the glass and in. The first points of the second half for Larry Nance, who had 18 in the first half. And Chicago's leading a 3-point lead, 9.5 minutes remaining. Michael Jordan. Rebound Daugherty, tipped away by Jordan. Ball belongs to Cleveland.
On Harper for Price.
Big question now with Price going to the bench. Harper coming in is whether or not Price is going to get stiff sitting down and whether he'll be effective when he does come back in.
Cleveland trying to pull to within 1. Just over 9 minutes to go in the game. Sanders puts up the jumper, a little strong. Ehlo keeps it alive. Back out to Daugherty. Harper short with his. Sanders puts it in.
Boy, he's been a real force for them on the offensive boards. He had 3 big ones in the first half. There's another big one off of that terrible shot by Harper.
Chicago's lead a 1-point lead. Vincent working against Harper, got by him. Sanders made him change that shot though, and Daugherty got the rebound. It's 14 boards for Brad Daugherty. Nearly a walk. Harper off the glass. And Cleveland has the lead back. Harper now with 14. 8.5 minutes remaining. Ehlo and Michael Jordan
20 seconds.
bump into each other. A 20 will be taken here.
See, Daugherty, again, he's having a tough game offensively, but he's still doing something that makes his presence on the court still valuable to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's the sign of a good ball player, because everybody has off games offensively.
They're now going to make that a full timeout, so we'll call timeout with 8:30 remaining in the game. This game has been swinging back and forth all night long. Cleveland leading it now 82-81, and perhaps a few extra seconds in the timeout gained on that last little piece of strategy there, Rick.
Well, yes, Pete, you know, we've seen this all season long. A coach will call a 20-second timeout. They'll go over, they'll start talking in the huddle, and all of a sudden they change it to a full timeout. I think the NBA should say, hey, if you ask for a 20 and they say you've got it, that's it. You can't change your mind.
And as you can see, Cleveland only one win on the road in their playoff history. That came 13 years ago against the Bullets. Chicago tries to get the lead back. 8:20 remaining, and the turnover will be saved by Michael Jordan. And you just wonder when he will take over again. He just beat the buzzer. And Scottie Pippen puts home the follow to give the Bulls the lead back.
Well, sometimes you have to be lucky rather than good. That was a lucky break for the Bulls.
8 minutes to go in the game. Chicago up by 1. If the Bulls win, they meet the New York Knicks in round 2. If Cleveland wins, they play game 5 Sunday at the Richfield Coliseum. Sanders has had an excellent game off the bench. He has 11 points. He also has pulled down 4 rebounds. And he's just given Cleveland back the lead. Grant working against Nance. Corzine puts it up over Daugherty. Wouldn't go for him. Another Sanders rebound. Now Cleveland can open up a 3-point lead. Daugherty moving against Corzine. A whistle before that shot went up. And the foul's going to be called on Dave Corzine, his second.
You can see Brad Daugherty is still in some pain. He was grimacing on that play, and I'm sure it's had an effect on him. A little injury like that, especially down in the area where you have to be mobile and your legs, your hip, or whatever, it just is enough to throw off your timing offensively.
You saw Cartwright check back in for Corzine a moment ago as Brad Daugherty has found his touch again on the line. He's not a bad free throw shooter, 74% during the regular season. But he was really having a time of it in this series until the second half of tonight's game when he seems to have regained his touch. He's now hit 6 in a row from the line, 7 of 8 overall, has 11 points in the game. And Cleveland's up by 3. Just over 7 minutes remaining.
Right now, Chicago's playing a Cleveland tempo. They've got to fit the tempo of this game up a little quicker, get some easy transition baskets to pull this one out.
Well, there's the man that can change the tempo of any game, Michael Jordan.
Fouls on Craig Ehlo.
Craig Ehlo called for his second personal.
Now, Doug Collins, the last thing in the world he wants to do is have to go back to Cleveland to play in game number 5. Tremendous on that home court Cleveland was this year. What, 37-4, I believe.
You can see how Cleveland's gotten the lead back. A little run against Chicago here in the 4th quarter. Michael Jordan with 2 men on him, as there almost always are.
Craig Hodges hits his first basket of the night.
Greg, great time for him to start to get warm.
It's a 1-point Cleveland lead. Sanders with Pippen on him. Nance right back out to Sanders. Jordan tried for the steal. Will be called for the foul.
Well, I tell you,
third.
they got a break there, because I guarantee that was a bad pass. That pass was anticipated that Nance was going to go outside, and he went inside. It was thrown to the wrong direction, as you see Seattle hanging on to a lead there to end that series. And the foul called on Michael. Tough break for the Bulls, big break for Cleveland.
Sanders into Daugherty to Ehlo. Nice pass underneath to Nance, but he couldn't get the shot to go. And Horace Grant pulls away the rebound. Chicago on the run. They're trying to get the lead back. Hodges takes it coast to coast. Basket wouldn't go, but he will go to the free throw line. Mike Sanders committing his 3rd personal.
Craig Hodges will shoot 2.
And at the line, a good free throw shooter, Craig Hodges, 84% during the regular season. Hasn't missed one in this playoff series.
Mark Price getting ready to come back in the game. He's sitting over there with a hot pack on that injury, trying to keep it warm.
Price back for Ehlo.
Price in, Ehlo sits for Cleveland. And Craig Hodges trying to give the lead back to Chicago. Bulls back on top. 6 minutes to go. Sanders puts up the shot. And a whistle against Chicago.
Scottie Pippen tried to draw the charge.
That is 4 now on Pippen.
Sanders, 2 shots.
Pete Van Weeren, Rick Barry with you from Chicago Stadium. Bulls trying to win this best-of-5 series from Cleveland. Cavaliers trying to stay alive for one more day. The miss by Mike Sanders. Cleveland has now missed 8 out of 29 free throw attempts. That one is made, and we are tied again at 87. Sanders now at 12 points. There's your time left. It's been a quiet fourth quarter for Michael Jordan. We just wonder when he's going to take this game over again like he did in the third. Pippen back out to Grant. He has to beat the shot clock. He only had 3 seconds left to shoot it. Here it comes Cleveland's way. Cavaliers can get the lead. If Nance can put it home, and he does. Nance with 22. Cleveland up by 2 now. Back and forth. This game has gone right from the opening tip. Hodges works against Price. Michael. The Cavaliers can now open up a 4-point lead.
That's why I tell you, I still don't care. If he beats me shooting that shot, I can feel all right about it. I just don't want him beating me driving to the basket, getting fouled, or dunking the ball.
Less than 5 minutes to go in the game. Nance drew the foul on the way up. And he'll go back to the free throw line.
Fouls on Bill Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright committing his 4th. So Pippen has 4, Grant has 4, Cartwright has 4, Craig Hodges has 4.
And this is the 4th game of the playoffs. And the 4th quarter. And it's 4:44 on the clock, Pete.
And if Nance makes this, he'll have 4 free throws. It's Cavaliers by 3, Cavaliers by 4. 4s all over the place. And Chicago trying to pull back a little bit closer. They're going to call a timeout here. Discuss how they're going to do it. 4:39 to go. Cleveland up by 4. Tonight's Polaroid Picture Perfect Play is brought to you by Polaroid. Before it's a memory, it's Polaroid.
Well, whatever camera you have ready to take the picture tonight. You can see the good steal by Michael Jordan. Of course, he's leading one of the leaders in the NBA. And Horace Grant takes it home. Snap it right there. And it's a good thing you'd have a picture of Horace on your Polaroid, because if you saw this guy and he didn't have a uniform on, you might think it's Horace. But that's just Twin Bunner Harvey from the Washington Bullets. They actually played a trick on Doug Collins before the ball game. And Harvey was in the locker room saying that he'd hurt his arm and couldn't play. And Doug thought it was Horace and didn't realize it.
And here we go. 4:38 remaining. There's your score. Cleveland up by 4. Cleveland trying to stay alive, take it back to the Coliseum for a 5th game. Chicago trying to finish him off here. And Michael may be about to take over again. He has 40. He scored 44 in Game 3. Cleveland by 2. Down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't know if he got the shot away. He did not.
24-second violation.
So Cleveland just a little bit too deliberate before they started the ball movement. Then the good Chicago defense took over. And now the Bulls can tie it up.
Seattle, Atlanta ahead in their games. Michael starts to put the move on, goes along the baseline, got fouled. He'll go back to the line.
He was actually trying to get Cartwright to get out of there. He could say, move. He wanted to go one-on-one against Harper. And I'll tell you what, Pete, the guy at the free throw line is to get the 4th foul on Daugherty. Is the reason why coaches, when they're playing against the Bulls, don't want the game to be close with 3 or 4 minutes left in the game, because this guy can beat you by himself.
And right now, he is trying to tie this one up. 41 points for Michael Jordan. In this series, he had 31 in Game 1, 30 in Game 2, 44 in Game 3, and 42 now in Game 4. And we're tied at 91. 3.5 minutes remain in the game. Price working against Hodges. Good move by Mark Price. He has 19.
See, that way he doesn't have to do a tremendous amount of lateral movement. Just one little step and go into the basket. He's been very effective.
Cleveland has the lead back. There's your time remaining. Michael. Daugherty the rebound. Jordan thought he got fouled. 16 rebounds now for Brad Daugherty. Lenny Wilkins was looking for improved rebounding from the Cavaliers, and his players have delivered that. Now trying to open up a 4-point lead. And Cartwright is going to be called for his 5th personal foul.
Foul is on Bill Cartwright. That's his 5th penalty.
We're in the penalty, so Brad Daugherty will go back to the line. He is 7 out of 8 from the line tonight.
So Doug Collins in your picture there, he was trying to ask the officials why there wasn't a 3-second violation called. I tell you, this has been a gutsy performance on the part of the Cleveland Cavaliers, considering all the adversity they've faced with their injury problems, and in particular Mark Price.
Price playing hurt, Daugherty's playing hurt, Craig Ehlo, and he's in there, has been playing hurt.
See, Brad, it's tough for him, and he's doing a yeoman's job as well, and he deserves a lot of credit, but he doesn't have to do the kind of running and motion that Price has to.
95-91, Cleveland by 4, 2:40 the time left. Cleveland has outscored Chicago 19-11 the last 7 minutes. Cartwright hands it to Scottie Pippen. His shot won't go. The rebound finally pulled away by Pippen, and he was fouled by Harper.
And Pete, the difference in this 4th quarter has been the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers have been able to dictate the tempo of this game. They have not let Chicago get into an open game, running up and down the court, getting a lot of easy opportunities. And Chicago's had to go against the tough half-court defense that Doug Collins was concerned about having to do, and it's been difficult for them.
Scottie Pippen at the line is not the best free throw shooter in the world. Makes the first half of these two. He's now 2 out of 3 tonight. That's right where his percentage is during the year, 67%. And he makes them both. So 2 big free throws made by Scottie Pippen to make it a 2-point game again. Price for 2, won't go. Rebound pulled away by Cartwright. He has 10 boards tonight. And they give it to Michael. Baseline jumper ties it. 44 for Michael Jordan. Timeout, Cleveland.
Less than 3 minutes of play between Seattle and Houston. The Sonics trying to wrap it up. The NBA's long-distance shootout champion this year, Dale Ellis, with a 3-pointer. He gives the Sonics a 6-point lead. They are now holding on to that lead. They're up by 5. Meanwhile, Atlanta has lost a 14-point lead. They trail Milwaukee. Back to Pete and Rick.
Okay, thank you, Craig. It is bedlam here at Chicago Stadium. 95-95, 44 points for Michael Jordan. We've got 1:59 to play.
I tell you, I didn't like the shot Cleveland took the last time down. They had a 2-point lead. They let Price take a tough shot from the outside. I think they should have tried to go inside to Larry Nance and try to create something down inside where they've been so very effective. That was a tough shot for them, and Michael Jordan delivered again. What's he got? 6 of the last 8, you said?
6 of the last 8 Chicago points.
In the last
44 on the night.
Yeah, but he's only got 1 rebound.
It is true. Cleveland's ball in a tie game. Price to Sanders to Daugherty. Playing against Cartwright, who has 5 personals. Mark Price could not get the jumper. There's Sanders to tip it home. He has had some big, big baskets tonight. Off the offensive glass for Cleveland. 14 points for Sanders. Cleveland up by 2. There's your time left. They give it to Michael. He's fouled by Sanders. 4th foul on Sanders. Michael Jordan, before this series began, predicted that the Bulls would win this series in 4 games. All 3 of the beat writers who follow the Chicago Bulls around the country predicted Cleveland would win it. One of the beat writers said Cleveland in 3. One said Cleveland in 4. One said Cleveland in 5. After game 1 of this series, Michael Jordan went up to the first writer and said, "That one was for you." After game 3, he went to the second writer and said, "That one was for you." And he pointed to the third writer and he said, "We're going to take care of yours Friday night." And he is playing like a man possessed tonight. 45, 46 for Jordan.
21 free throw attempts.
Tied at 97. There's your time remaining. Wide open, Mike Sanders. Wouldn't go. Cartwright pulls it away for Chicago. His 11th rebound. They give it to Michael. 1 minute to go. Tied at 97. 7 seconds on the shot clock. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Basket wouldn't go, but back to the free throw line goes Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
There you go, Michael driving to the basket. There's the bump. The ball rolls off the rim, and watch Doug Collins and Lenny Wilkins. Doug very upset the shot didn't go in. Lenny upset that the foul was called.
And that's the first free throw missed since way back early in the second quarter by Michael Jordan. And what a time for it, because now we could have one of those one-point things.
That's where the three-pointer can come in then.
49 seconds remaining. Jordan has now made 19 out of 23 from the line. Chicago leads it by 1. "15 seconds on the shot clock. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stolen by Chicago. Pippen got a hand on it. Cartwright pulled it away.
They shouldn't foul, Pete. They should not foul. They got to play good defense. They'll get the ball back. A foul here could be very costly to them.
A 5-second difference in the game clock and the shot clock. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Michael. Hammered by Nance. Jordan goes back to the line.
But still plenty of time for Cleveland with 9 seconds. Michael makes these 2. Let's assume it. You get the timeout, the ball in half court. A 3-point shot. Chance to tie the ball game.
Jordan has 47. Chicago up by 1.
Got to knock both of these in.
There's 1. Chicago leads by 2. Cleveland calls a timeout.
A sellout crowd of 18,264. And what a battle they have seen.
Well, Pete, now this is where you get some interesting strategy. If Michael knocks this one in and Cleveland takes a timeout, get the ball in half court to set up for a three-point play, the coaches will go back with some more strategy. I really believe I would have my play. I would not let him take a three-point shot. I would foul the guy. I don't want to give him a chance to tie the ball game, because then they got to go to the line, make one, miss it, and they got to get the rebound back and make a two-point shot. We'll see what happens. Lenny Wilkens right now might be telling his teams, hey, look it, if he misses the shot, let's get it and go and get a quick break opportunity, try and score an easy hoop. And if you go down there and you don't have it, then maybe we could take a timeout to set up the last play. Or he may say, if we don't have the quick one, let's go into this play already and not have to waste the timeout. So a lot of interesting things going on here. But again, some coaches would elect to just play good, tough defense and don't foul. But I say if they're going to take that three-pointer, I don't want to let them do that. I want to make them go to the line. Here's the last play right here. You see Saunders tries to force it in with Pippen off of him. Pippen gets a hand on it, knocks it away, and Cartwright comes up with it. Not a wise pass on the part of Saunders that time. See the coaches in this, watching the reaction of it. A happy and elated Doug Collins, and of course Lenny Wilkens has had a lot of moments like that tonight.
And throughout this series. 99-97, Chicago by 2. Michael Jordan will be back at the line. He has 47 points in the game. Seattle trying to put away Houston at the Summit. Atlanta has now fallen behind Milwaukee. Milwaukee could win that series if they hang on.
See, now there's only one full timeout left for Cleveland here, and see if Lenny's going to elect to call the timeout to get the ball at half court should they make it. I would think so, that he didn't want to use the time up, because then he would still have a 20-second timeout to call to try and set something else up should the occasion arise.
Michael Jordan. Missed it. Daugherty got the rebound and hurt himself. He is really favoring that right leg as he heads toward the Cleveland bench. It's a two-point game. Cleveland will have the ball with 8 seconds.
The Warriors will run. Garland all the way to Mullen. Oh, what a shot!
Here's Ducker ahead to Bailey.
Oh, my!
Barkley another rebound. Charles behind it. Back. Unbelievable. 14 seconds. Craig allowed the Pippen. Oh, yeah! Ahead it comes for Sleepy on the run. He's got Paxson to beat. Oh! He made the shot! NBA action is fantastic.
Okay, Rick Barry, Cleveland down by 2. They've got the ball back and plenty of time, 8 seconds.
Well, that changes everything with Michael missing that free throw. Obviously, Lenny elected to call the timeout regardless of whether he missed it or not because of the position he had his players. So now it's a matter of getting the ball safely inbounds and going right into a play with some motion. You don't want to just try and stand there and let the defense get set. Teams usually work on these type of situations during the course of the season and have a set play for it. The key is getting the ball inbounds safely. Now for Bulls, they have to play just good, tough defense, try to hopefully get a 5-second violation against the Cavs. They only have a 20-second timeout left. And then play good, tough defense and do not foul.
And now the 20-second timeout's going to be taken by Chicago.
Well, Doug wanted to see how they were set up, and now he's going to try and come up with the defense to counter the set that they were in. Now it'll be interesting to see if Lenny Wilkens anticipated that and had sent them out in a set that he really didn't want to use, anticipating that that was going to happen, and put him into a different set to bring the ball in bounds, because you normally have more than just one play to bring the ball in bounds from the sideline.
It becomes like a chess match at this point. Chicago 99-97 over Cleveland. A reminder that on Tuesday night, TBS Sports NBA playoff coverage continue. We'll have a doubleheader, Eastern Conference semifinal game followed by a Western Conference semifinal game. And it all begins 8:05 Eastern Time Tuesday night here on the Superstation. Could be the final 8 seconds of the season for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll see. Sanders will inbounds it. Gets it into Harper to Price. Price over to Daugherty. Daugherty runs into Craig Hodges, and Hodges will be called for the foul.
Well, now, of course, you say you don't want to foul and taking a shot, but when a guy's going in for what looked like an easy play, a layup, that's a pretty good foul on the part of Craig Hodges to make Daugherty, who's had some trouble at the free throw line, have to make the free throws.
He's made 8 in a row in this game. 9 of 10 overall. He was only 38% from the line in this series coming in. But he has regained his touch from the line. And he can tie it up here.
Of course, the one thing, the Bulls still have 4 seconds to go. Should he tie it, 4 seconds is plenty of time to get the winning hoop. Biggest free throw of his career right now.
And he hit it. We are tied at 99. Timeout Chicago with 4 seconds remaining.
I love it.
A tie game with 4 seconds left. The ball belongs to Chicago. Everybody in the building probably looking for the ball to go to Michael Jordan, but we'll see if that's the strategy that Doug Collins employs.
Well, as you take a look at the other action tonight, 10 seconds remaining. It looks like Seattle is going to finish off Houston and take on the Lakers again. And Atlanta,
that's going back and forth.
14-point lead they had. Cummings hurt, and they still have come back. Atlanta has been known to, of course, fold up a little bit in the fourth quarter, even at home sometimes. So they could well be finished with. But right now, as you pointed out, Pete, everybody may be looking for the ball to go to Michael. Will Doug Collins try to use that as a ploy to spot somebody else open and get a chance for Craig Hodges or somebody to shoot the ball? And then again, if you can get it to Michael and he has the ability to go to the basket, he's going to be more apt to have somebody call a foul against him than anybody else on that team.
Michael Jordan with 48 points tonight. Brad Daugherty now has 15 points and a career-high 17 rebounds. And here we go. This might be for the season. Michael puts it up. No! Overtime.
Overtime.
It's a great play. They got it into his hands.
Cleveland stays alive, but barely. We are tied at 99. We go to overtime in Game 4. Chicago leading it 2-1. Cleveland hanging on.
And barely, here's the good inbounds pass. See Michael make the good backdoor cut. A terrific pass to get him the ball. He wasn't able to go straight up because of some good defense by Harper. Had to take the fadeaway. Wasn't able to go. The tip no good. Cleveland hanging on by their nails. I mean, and I just don't know how long they can continue to hang in there with so many of their players playing injured. Daugherty being able barely to get up and down the court. He's limping now as I'm looking at him. And look at what Houston did. They came up with a three-point play to tie the game.
They're going into overtime.
And now they're going to 13.
With 13 seconds remaining there.
Boy, we got 3 great games going on
we've got going on here. And the overtime about to begin. Pippen, Cartwright, Jordan, Grant, and Hodges on the court for Chicago. Nance, Price, Ehlo, Daugherty, and Harper for Cleveland. Cleveland will get the first crack to break this tie.
The Bulls got to try and run a little bit more in this 5-minute overtime if they can.
Craig Ehlo hasn't played that much tonight. Mark Price has had a lot of minutes. He's going to go to the free throw line. If they say he was in the act of shooting.
No, he wasn't. He was still dribbling.
First team foul overtime.
That is 5 now on Horace Grant. Craig Hodges also has 5 for Chicago. Bill Cartwright also has 5. Harper's shot goes, and Cleveland takes the lead here in the overtime. 16 points now for Ron Harper. Scottie Pippen works against Harper. Jordan guarded by Ehlo, who Lenny Wilkins feels is his best defender against Michael Jordan. The miss and the rebound again by Nance off to Ehlo. To Harper, to Daugherty. Daugherty lost it, but Ehlo gets it back. Mark Price puts up a 3.
Mark Price.
22 for Price, a 5-point lead for Cleveland. We'll be back here shortly, but right now let's go to Craig Sager in Atlanta to update one of the other games. Craig?
Well, thank you, Pete. 7 seconds to play. Milwaukee down by a point, but the Bucks have the ball. Let's join Al Albert and Walt Frazier.
Must be contained. Look for Humphries to try to shake and bake to get in the paint. Humphries will use Sigma probably to come off the pick so he can shoot the shot from there. If not, they're looking for Pierce underneath.
The Bucks trailed by 13 at the half. They lost Terry Cummings, pulled tendon in the right ankle at the 6-minute mark of the game. They have battled back.
Moses must stay on Sigma. He cannot drop off to help out underneath.
Hawks by 1. A 20-second, which will leave the Milwaukee Bucks with 1 timeout, and the Hawks also have 1 timeout. Del Harris has pulled all the right strings in this one and in this series.
I don't know if that was a smoke screen just to see what type of defense the Hawks would get into. So now he might change the play.
And now they have called the full timeout, with the Hawks clinging to the 1-point lead and 7 ticks of the clock left.
Well, it's over. The Houston Rockets have lost at home to the Seattle Sonics. Seattle takes that series. We'll have more on that in a moment, but let's go back now to Pete Van Weeren and Rick Barry.
Okay, thank you, Craig. Michael Jordan going to the line and sinking his 49th point. But Chicago is down right now by 5, 105-100.
That's their first point in 2 minutes, and 1 minute and 43 seconds.
Michael has 50. Larry Nance hit 1 of 2 on the other end of the court a moment ago. Cleveland by 4, 3 minutes remain in this overtime. Down to 7 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 3 seconds on the shot clock. Nance beats the clock and hits a big 2 points. He has 27. Cleveland up by 6.
A very subdued crowd right now.
Well, these Cavaliers have played a gutsy game tonight. We've mentioned several times how banged up they are. Michael dishing it off to Cartwright. Nance with a block. Loose ball picked up by Harper. And Cleveland playing with some renewed life right now. Back to Atlanta for a further update.
Well, thank you, Pete. Nothing has changed. The score is the same, so is the clock. Just running out of timeouts. Let's join again Al Albert and Walt Frazier.
This is the best foul shooting team in NBA history. Mike Mathis asking Dominique to give Fred Roberts more room. Humphries, Pierce, Sigma, Kristoviak, and Roberts.
What the Bucks are going to do, Kristoviak is going away. Pierce is coming off Sigma.
Sigma.
Oh,
knocked
Rivers
away by
stripped it.
Rivers.
They call a foul on Rivers.
With 1 second left.
And Sigma, the second leading free throw shooter this season, will go to the line for 2. And Battle, dejected.
A loose ball scramble. The Hawks thought that maybe they got possession without the Bucks getting off a shot.
It looked like a clean strip from where we were, but the official called on this Sigma's hand. So now, with 3 seconds left, Sigma goes to the line for 2, and I would not want to be his heart right now. Pacello. Pacello trying to talk to the official to find out what is going on. Watch the replay. Sigma spins right there. He was stripped by Rivers, but they called the foul.
Jack Sigma, who has taken 3 foul shots tonight. He has hit them all. 90% from the foul line. Second to Magic Johnson in the league. He needs 1 to tie, 2 for the lead.
Sigma feeling pressure. He's trying to laugh it off, but it's no laughing matter, Jack. You don't make these. It is no laughing matter. And folks, that's a choke shot. Because when you're second best in the league and the game is on the line, he might miss them both. And then he definitely can't go in the Bucks locker room. He might as well go in the Hawks locker room. Intensity.
It leaves the Hawks with 3 seconds. They'll take it. 98. And we also may be facing the second overtime in 2 games between these 2 teams. A big sigh of relief.
What an appropriate halftime feature we had on how difficult it is to make one from the charity toss with the pressure on the line. Let's go back to our game, Chicago and Cleveland. Pete Van Weeren. Seattle and Houston. First of all, let me show you how it was won. Right here, timeout after the three-pointer by Sleepy Floyd. Underneath it goes Xavier McDaniel. He puts it in just before time runs out. And there you have it. The Houston Rockets stunned at home. They lose the series. They are through. Seattle moves on. Seattle winning with that last second shot, which is what possibly the Atlanta Hawks could do because they're going to have the ball. But first, let's go back to Cleveland and Chicago.
Okay, thank you, Craig. And we add our congratulations to Bernie Bickerstaff and the Seattle Sonics, who now have a date with the Lakers. Here we've got 40 seconds left in the overtime. Cleveland leading at 107-105 as they try to hang on and send this series back to a Game 5 in Cleveland on Sunday.
Well, they had a 6-point lead, but thanks to a big 3-point basket by Craig Hodges, I believe it was, who popped that one in. There was a 2-point shot by Hodges and a nice play inside by the Bulls. They've cut the lead back down to 2. And then Michael Jordan, of course, Pete, had got the ball stolen by Craig Ehlo, and then he was able to steal the thing and help get it back.
And with 40 seconds left, Chicago has the ball. There you see the 5 players in the game that have 5 personal fouls. In it comes to Jordan. Chicago needs 2 to tie it. We're in the first overtime. Hodges over to Pippen. He almost walked with it. Cartwright back out to Hodges. Hodges trying one from 3-point territory. Wouldn't go. Big rebound by Scottie Pippen. Cartwright has the ball. Tipped away and stolen by Daugherty. And now the Cavaliers, if they can hang on, will send this series back to Cleveland. Michael Jordan had to foul him to give the Bulls a chance to get the ball back.
Well, Doug Collins is going crazy in the sideline.
Back to the final 3 seconds, Atlanta-Milwaukee. And as you see right there,
No foul. Milwaukee gets the ball with a second left. They call a 20-second. The scoreboard indicated no timeouts, but apparently they had a 20-second left. Mike Fratello cannot believe it. The ball was blocked off of Wilkins out of bounds.
The play never developed. Terrible shot Nick was taking. Watch this. The Hawks, lackadaisical. The play never developed. Evan Malone was open. Pierce definitely had all ball. The ball hit Nick on the foot. Excellent defense by Pierce. It was also a foolish play by Pierce because he got a call for a foul in that situation. So the Bucks have one last chance to pull it out.
The twists and turns in the closing seconds of this one. Desperation for the Bucks.
Why the Hawks putting people here?
1 second. Humphreys for the game.
Oh.
And for the second straight game, the Bucks and the Hawks move to overtime with a series, as far as the Hawks are concerned, in the balance.
Harper made the first one, missed the second one. It's a 108-105 Cleveland lead over Chicago with 7 seconds remaining in the overtime. And the Bulls will have the ball and one more crack and a 3-pointer here, I guess, to tie this thing up.
But I'm still wondering why in the world Chicago went to the play that they went to and looked like it was set for a 3-point play, and Michael Jordan wasn't really involved the last 2 times they had the ball. They took the 3-pointer, got it back, and then again Michael didn't get the ball in his hands again when it was only a 2-point game. very surprising to me. So things backfired for Chicago, but they still have one last chance here with 7 seconds to go. Of course, they have to go for the three-point shot. Obviously, Craig Hodges the man to watch in that instance. Scottie Pippen as well, and Michael Jordan. So they do have 3 legitimate three-point shooters. He may also bring Paxson into the ball game to give them 4 three-point shooters out on the court, and even for that matter, bring in Sam Vincent and go with all small guys, everybody who can shoot it.
The hot shooter with a three-point range in this series has been Scottie Pippen. Overall in his career, Craig Hodges has been the man with the most accurate hand from out there.
Well, tonight sure has been the night of the NBA. Always expect the unexpected. The last-second basket by Seattle to knock off the Rockets and eliminate them from the playoffs. Then the bizarre plays that we saw here with the Milwaukee-Atlanta series game. And then, of course, we've had some interesting situations take place here where Michael Jordan down the stretch missed 2 very big free throws that could eventually wind up costing the Bulls this ball game and forcing Game 5 on Sunday back in Cleveland.
Jordan went to the line twice in the final minute and a half. He missed the first shot of a 2-shot foul, the first trip, and then the second trip he made the first one, missed the second one. Still, it's hard to criticize a guy who scored 50 points.
I'm not criticizing him, Pete. I'm just saying that I know Michael was more upset about it certainly than anyone else, the great player that he is. But it's just ironic that a guy having such a great game will look back no matter what he did so greatly. Michael will remember those missed free throws more than anything else should they lose this ball game.
Okay, you saw the three-point shooting figures.
That's right. Michael fouled out the last time I entered them. Michael is on the bench. That's right, because he had to take another foul. That was his 6th foul, so he's out of the ball game.
Davis inbounds it to Pippen. Pippen is going to send it outside. Davis tries it. Won't go. Hodges tries it. Won't go. This series goes back to Cleveland. In overtime, the Cavaliers have kept their hopes alive. 108-105. Cavaliers beat Chicago.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's Miller Lite, less filling tastes great. By Jeep and Eagle, the official vehicles of the NBA. By Wendy's, the best burgers in the business. And by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Cleveland keeps their